Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Happy Wednesday. It's hump day. Hump day, hump day, hump day. Anyways, back with the affirmators today. And like I said, we're going to be doing these for a while. I mean, why not? Something new, something fresh. I don't have to think. So, I mean, I have to think about the card, but I don't have to think about what to talk about. And we've had some pretty heavy subjects, yeah. So sorry, my computer is everything retrograde. So yeah, I'm just waiting for a few people to come on, so I guess that's why I'm dawdling. But anyways, I see Muddy's on. Hybrid Mutt's on. So let's get rolling. I know, sorry I'm a little late today. Lots of stuff happening this morning, and yeah. So breathe, right? I know. Sorry, I have my TV on in the background. My baseball game's on. My team's baseball game is on super early today. So, anyways, affirmators deck, love and relationships. But you know what? We're just gonna say affirmators from now because I don't want people to be like, oh, this isn't for me. No, this is for everybody. Whether you're spoken for, single, not looking, ready to mingle, any of those things. Okay, you know, this is about all different kinds of relationships across the board, not just love and stuff like that. That's why it says love and relationships. So anyways, oh, this one's cute. It's a butterfly. I'm a catch. Yeah, don't get caught by that, because literally they're just going to pin you to a board. Poor butterflies. Anyways, I'm a total catch, and I know all the reasons why. I know that anyone would be lucky to be with me, and that doesn't mean I'm arrogant or snobby. Self-respect is just one of the many qualities exhibited by this complete and utter babe. That was a little difficult for me to read because I struggle with that. I struggle with identity. It's not identity, but I struggle with that. But anyways, I know, right? All those lovely insecurities just wandering about. So anyways, yeah. So, you know, if you are single and ready to mingle, give yourself a break, right? I guess put yourself out there, do the things. Sorry, my hair is, it's at that length right now where it's kind of like it doesn't know where it should be. So I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna, so let's go by this little by little. I'm a total catch, and I know all the reasons why. I know that anybody would be lucky to be with me, and that doesn't mean I'm arrogant or snobby. I think that's where we sometimes get tripped up, right? It's that goes back to that whole being raised to be humble thing. But also it can go to a lot of different directions. Now, I don't want to continually talk about trauma brain, but I do want everybody to feel seen. And when you have trauma brain, and even with trauma brain, sometimes you pick bad. You pick people. You can't fix yourself, so you try to pick other people that you think you can fix without even realizing that's what you're doing. So I think here, though, it is talking about self-respect. Self-respect is a beautiful and wonderful thing. You know, I mean, don't worry about what you think the world sees. I know for me, as a bit of a plus size girl, I mean, I am on a health journey for my heart, so I have lost a lot of weight, but and I'm very proud of my journey. And you know what? This isn't about losing weight. This isn't about shaming people into losing weight. This is for me personally. Everybody needs to do what's best for them. Okay. But this is for me personally, because I want my ticker to tick for a long time. So yeah, I got to take care of her. But what I'm trying to say is that, I still wonder if I'm enough. And I know there's other people out there, but there's also people that have body dysmorphia, right? I mean, they may be the standard of what somebody's looking for. And I say that because, you know what? People are going to love people. If it's your person, it doesn't matter. All right. If it's your person. So you feel it, you sense it, and all that other stuff. So you're just kind of like, yeah, okay, this is my person. But when we're looking for that person, when we're trying to find that person, a lot of times, insecurities can get in the way, and we might hide ourselves behind excuses like weight, or, and it doesn't matter. I'm not saying even this weight. Some people may be like, oh no, because they have body dysmorphia. You could have someone who's thick or thin that has body dysmorphia. And yes, I said thin. When I was a skinny mini, I had severe body dysmorphia. I really did. And I hated my body. I hated everything about me, but that was trauma brain. And so, like I said, even though I'm very proud of my journey, sometimes I do fall back into the old habits of body dysmorphia. So, there could be a lot of things, or someone might be out there, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not this colored hair enough, I'm not that color eyed enough. And they might hide themselves. They'll hide themselves. Oh, I'm busy tonight. And they might lie about it. Oh, sorry, I can't. I have plans. And they may not elaborate. So you're like, do they have plans? Or they may work a lot. Butterfly just flew by. I know, squirrel. Or they may, they may hide themselves behind work. Or they may hide themselves behind, like needing to clean the chores, right? Cleaning the house or getting the car serviced, or there's a lot of different things. Sometimes you just got to take that chance and hope for the best and see what happens. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, then you keep moving forward. Okay, you keep moving forward. Good morning, Allie. So yeah. Oh, well, it's morning here still, but good afternoon to you. Sorry, my bad. I forgot. You're like, what, 8 hours ahead of me? But yeah, so, self-respect is a huge thing. And a lot of times, if you want to be that person that wants to get out there and, if you're single and ready to mingle and you want to get out there, you have to develop this self-respect. You have to develop this kindness towards yourself. That this deserving, that that you deserve good things like everybody else does. Don't worry about what someone over here has, okay? Don't worry about what someone over there has. Worry about what you want. Put it out there. If you pray, pray. Turn your request to whoever you turn your higher power to. If that's not your thing, then manifest it. Put out a manifestation for it. Will it to happen. But when you're doing that, you have to be very specific. You may not get what you want, but you'll get what's meant for you. Okay. So, if you try to zero in on specific people, it may not always work because that person may not be for you. All right. But this is why I always say when you're manifesting or whatever, this or something better. Okay, this or something better, no matter what it is that you're trying to manifest across the board. Because, like I said, especially if you're trying to manifest love, right? Just put out there the desires of the what you want in this person, the qualities, and make sure they're a good person. We don't need to date ourselves, all right? And this by this I mean if you have trauma brain, like I said, a lot of times, a lot of the relationships I was in were very domineering type of relationships. That's what it is. You'll get what you need. I feel like that's a song. Oh God. Oh, it's the Rolling Stones. Now I got them in my head. I've had songs, guys, rolling. It's like there's like a DJ in my head today. And it is playing everything. Even Small World. It's a Small World was playing in my head while I was brushing my teeth. And I'm just like, what the hell? Hey, that's one of my favorite rides. I know, but it's a long ride and it's nice and cool in there. But sidetracked. However, yeah, this isn't really a subject we need to talk about for a long time unless the girls have input here. But, I'm going to read this again. I'm a catch. I'm a total catch, and I know all the reasons why. I know that anyone would be lucky to be with me, and that doesn't mean I'm arrogant or snobby. Self-respect is just one of the many qualities exhibited by this complete and utter babe. Have some confidence, okay? Have some confidence. I've had friends in the past tell me that, whoever you end up with is going to be one very lucky guy, and you hear that and you hear it over and over and over again, and then you're still single and you start wondering, well, am I meant to be single for the rest of my life, or am I blocking it because out of fear, which I think for a long time it has been, and I'm not sure if it was fear of rejection. I think that's where it started. Now, yeah, Sammy says, it is a song. I almost put the whole quote. You can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need. And seriously, I sang that. Okay, when I was reading that, I sang it. All right, I sang it because I know that song. Um, yeah. Oh, okay. So you know what? We've talked about this. All right. Now let's get to some of the comments. And I will read the comments because they are public. So I hope you guys don't mind. But yeah, when it comes to this, have some confidence, have some faith in yourself, and just believe. Don't sit there and go outside every morning. And go, today's going to be the day I meet that person, or that person smiled at me. Are they interested? Just let it happen. Just let it happen. Okay. Just I thought I saw a penguin back there. Sorry, I love penguins. Um, I just love animals, but I do have my favorites: penguins, turtles, otters. The list keeps growing. Cows, I know cows. The list does keep growing, but no, I love penguins. Look how cute that one is. Yeah. Anyway, and I actually have a tattoo of a turtle on my back. That's my spirit animal. But anyways, okay, so here we go. Yes, Sammy's sending hugs to Allie. I'm sending hugs to Allie as well. Um, so this, let's turn this around a little bit. Um, yeah, well, it's not really an affirmation, but I will put it in the comments. I'll put the whole picture so you can see it because she's a butterfly now. Maybe you're in that cocoon phase right now where you're just spinning and spinning and spinning, and you've gone from being the caterpillar into this mushy goo right inside of this caterpillar, and then you're going to come out and be a butterfly. But like I said, don't get caught by these guys because they just want to pin you to a wall. Yeah, well, Shelly's mind went somewhere else. Oh, it is, wow, it must be Wednesday. Hump day. Oh God, I don't know. Oh man, I know. Well, yeah, it is kind of mushy goo. I know. I don't know what else to call it. I mean, you're like this gooey substance inside of a cocoon. A cocoon. Oh, see what I mean? I make myself laugh. My baby cousin made me a shirt, baby sibling, and for Comic-Con several years ago. And she actually made me a bunch of shirts, and they were little quotes that I made, and I asked her to put them together, and I'm still trying to shrink back into these shirts, but it says, I laugh at my own jokes. I'm fucking hilarious. I am fucking hilarious in my own mind. But you know what? That's the kind of confidence I'm talking about, guys. Even if you're only funny in your own mind, even if you only laugh at yourself, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, laughter is the best medicine, right? That is a quote from Lord Byron. Laughter is the best medicine. And that guy must have laughed a lot, because when you read about Lord Byron, very, very poetic human being, but a hot mess. So anyways, so yeah, let's talk about Allie here. So Allie says, I've had an awful couple of weeks and it's felt like my world has fallen apart. I need to straighten my head and start manifesting again. I need to create my own future. So this is interesting. Sammy, remind me, because I feel like we talked about this in the last couple of weeks, that when things feel like they're falling apart, it's that stuff falling away. It's all the stuff you don't need falling away. I don't know what you're going through. If you want to talk later, I have some time. I do have to make an airport run today. One of the besties is coming in for Comic-Con tomorrow. So again, we will not have a show on Thursday or Friday because I'm going to be out having fun. I get to see I get to see lots of my friends. So, lots, two others, the one coming in today and then another one. But hey, you know what? You can make friends. I thought I had some friends coming in from the UK. Well, someone I know, an acquaintance I know from the UK, but they, things being the way they are right now, they chose not to come, and I'm not really sure I blame them. I know. Yeah. So anyway, Yeah. Okay. So Sammy, let's double team Allie here. So if you don't want to stay on, that's fine. I understand that because we've done the message. I'm a catch. Okay. And the whole message in here is self-respect. And we're going to talk a little bit about self-respect, self-care, and self-love. Okay? Because we've all been through that point in our life, probably several times, where it just feels like everything is falling apart. Allie, remind me which card you picked on the Moonology. Was it card number one? I think it was card number one. And this is interesting because card number one, I'm going to share this with you on here. Today does start the new moon cycle. Tomorrow is the new moon. But I'm going to give you a preview. I'm going to give it to you right now, girl, what your card is. So hopefully you are still on. Okay. A time for healing. It's the balsamic moon. And now I'm thinking salad. Vinaigrette? Vinaigrette, anybody? But yes, it's a time for healing. And sometimes in order to get to this place, you need to go through this first. Okay? And let's read what that one says, the balsamic moon. Let's see if I can find it. This is not planned, so I don't have it ready to go. So I gotta find it, but I think this will be good because, you know what? I'll also read the other one. Believe it or not, card number 3 was new moon in Leo, and that is exactly what tomorrow is. It's a new moon in Leo. So we'll get to that one next. In fact, I will put that in its spot so we can find that. Ooh, confidence is the key to your success. This reading is getting better and better as we talk. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Balsamic moon. Okay, it was number 1. So a time for healing. Okay, and stick around because we're going to do card number 3, which when I post it in the group, I am going to tell everyone to read number 3 because that does pertain to tomorrow. So it's like a twofer this week. Let's see. Pulling this card suggests that the past is the past and a bright future is beckoning. However, before you take your next step, make sure that both you and the situation feel healed. This is not the time to paper over cracks or to simply pretend that everything is okay. Rather, you still need a little more time to heal and to soothe both yourself and anyone else in need. You know, in this case, Allie, when we're talking about you, take care of yourself. All right, take care of you first. Don't worry about everybody else right now. If they come to you, that's understandable, but don't seek it out right now. Okay. So this is like Oracle Fridays that I used to do. Yeah, see, a time for healing. Perfect. Sammy, see, I know, right? Now I got another song in my head. Who sings that song? Is it the Turtles? Or I don't know. I got turtles in my head now. But yeah, anyways, the one that's based on the Bible quotes. Okay. Then remind yourself that anything is possible if you believe it. There you go. Then remind yourself anything is possible if you believe it. This is also a time to surrender and wait to hear guidance from the universe or your higher power, whoever, whoever's watching this later, because this is for everybody. I'm reading this for Allie, but this is for everybody. All right. So, powerful insights can be had. If you know that someone or something really isn't good for you, this card is a reminder to surrender. Start to work on your belief in your dreams so you're ready when the time comes. So there you go. If you know that someone or something really isn't good for you and you have chosen to walk away, it's going to be hard. It's going to feel, like everything's falling apart. But what this is telling you is that this is meant to happen. These are things that are falling away because you're moving into a different kind of energy now. You're moving into a different you. Maybe you've done a lot of healing and what used to be okay in your life is no longer okay in your life. You're setting boundaries. And boundaries can be hard. Boundaries doesn't mean that you have to say, nope, stop sign, you are not allowed in my life anymore. Boundaries, the birds, that's it. Thank you. I knew it was an animal. Thank you, Sammy. Sammy is my music encyclopedia. So anyways, speaking of music encyclopedia, hats off to Ozzy. I have to say hats off to Ozzy. So older sibling and Sammy yesterday have destroyed my week twice now. Monday, sibling called me while I was at Starbucks doing some work and told me Malcolm Jamal Warner died. Okay, and that made me sad because he was one of my crushes in the 80s growing up, and I got to, my friend's mom worked at a children's hospital and she brought us along because she both knew we were fans, and we got to meet him. He was so nice, he was so sweet, and a very untimely death. Poor Ozzy had been suffering with Parkinson's for God knows how long. But yeah, I watched the video of his last concert and heartbroken. I mean, Ozzy, I told you guys I have a playlist just for my moods, and I can't tell you how many times that voice got me through a lot of stuff in my head. So I think for an entire year, Crazy Train was one of my theme songs. But yeah, hats off, sir, and rest in those musical notes in the sky. So anyways, let's finish this up. So again, boundaries, right? So rolling back to boundaries doesn't mean, so I'm going to read your comment in a second, Allie. Boundaries doesn't mean that you have to say goodbye to the person. It means you're putting up your own set of rules saying, look, if you want to exist in my life, you have to follow these rules, whether you like it or not. And, if they care about you, if they love you, they will, I don't want to say conform, but they'll adjust. All right. So Allie says, I was judged for the way I deal with my mental health. Apparently, I have got to be more open with people I barely know and I'm not happy sharing with because I don't conform to their way of dealing with things. As such, I was kicked out of my... No, you were? That's BS, dude. That's BS. Nobody can force you to talk to people or that you're not comfortable talking to. You have a lot going on. And, here's the thing about mental health, all right? We already feel like we're judged because especially people my age or I don't know how old you are, Allie, but I think we're close in age. But I don't want to give anyone's ages away, okay? So I'll pull that one back really quick. I guess I can't pull that back. That's out in the internet forever. But anyways, I know that people who grew up in my era, we struggle a little bit because we come from a generation before us that, oh, okay, Allie and I are the same age. Fist bump, girl. And yeah, Sammy says that's total BS. So here's the thing. They're full of shit. But I want to talk about mental health for a second before I get back to the rest of this card. Because I'll tell you what annoys me the most about the way mental health is like grieving, okay? I mean, they're not the same thing. Sometimes they might tie into each other. And, if you have a mental health issue, you might spiral because of grieving. But when I say grieving there's no real set way. There's no real rules. There might be, train stops of things like therapy or talking to people or confiding in your friends or this, that, and the other. But there is no rules. And the generation before us, they didn't talk about it. And the ones that did were ridiculed. Older sibling came from the end of that previous generation. And she struggled with mental health issues. I believe she was hospitalized once. And it's okay. I know she's not on right now, but she has always given me carte blanche to talk about her stuff because she knows it will help other people. And this is back in the 60s, when they didn't talk about it, when all that really sketchy stuff was really happening. So I don't even want to know what she probably went through. But she was like, nope, I'm out of here because this doctor is using you. And she knew it. Thank God that she was basically born an adult. Because she knew, and she tried to, it took her a long time to convince her parents. But we come from that generation. But then it gets confusing because we're right smack dab in the middle of two generations. One that says, hey, we are not going to hide this anymore. And this one over here that says, you need to not talk about it. And believe it or not, even though we are Gen Xers, and we act like we have our shit together. I think a lot of times we just act like we don't give a shit because a lot of times things get too confusing that it's just like, you know what, fuck it. I'm over it. I'm done. I'm out. So, I wish I could start a reenactment group for you. I do, because I know how much you love that. But for them to kick you out over something like that, I know this isn't going to help you, and I know this doesn't make it any better, but you don't need that kind of bullshit in your life. You don't. Those aren't people that care about you. Those are people that just want to be all up in your business and tell you how they think you should handle things. The only person who knows how to handle things is you. You know, I mean, I never thought in my life I would have spent a year and a half in therapy. And I did when I turned 50 because I felt stuck. I felt stuck between the person that was trauma brained and the person that is trying to thrive. So I felt stuck between surviving and thriving. But I also never thought I'd spend 6 months in therapy talking about the worst shit that's ever happened to me in my life and going through some pretty hardcore, just balls to the wall healing. And, these were things I wish I'd done when I was younger. My dad and I talked about it again the other night, about how there was a lot of things that, just, so it says it's giving me the opportunity to, so Allie says it's giving me the opportunity to change direction and find my new normal. Yeah, they don't sound like they're your people. I had a funny feeling that might have been what happened because of a comment from a mutual friend of Allie's and mine that I saw on her post. And I think that's how you two met. I don't know for sure, but I think that's how you two met. But yeah, that's BS. People should not be judging you for your mental health. And, you do not have to talk to anybody you don't want to. You should reach out for help if you trust somebody. I know I'm 8 hours behind you and halfway across the world, but I may not always answer right away. But if you ever need to open up or talk about something or whatever, just message me. Just message me, okay? If you want, I can give you my number and you can WhatsApp me as well. Because WhatsApp, I think that's just, everywhere. You don't get, it's like a free app. So, and we can talk there too. So I'm here for you. I am. Sammy and I have known each other for about 20, you know what, Sammy, I'm just going to say 24 years already. Okay. It's got to be something like that. We've known each other for at least 24 years and we have never met in person, but you know what? She is one of my besties. My hybrid buddy. I'm still getting used to hybrid buddy. We're HM, my him. Oops. I agree, girl. She says, I don't want to succumb to the negativity. I need to create a positive out of this. Yes, she is a wonderful person. But you know what? I'm grateful because she introduced me to you and you too are a wonderful person. Yeah, that's right. So Sammy says it's been about 24 years. I forgot. So Dracula 2000 came out. I know. And then I think we met the next year. In 2001. So you know what, Gerard Butler, wherever you are out there, thank you for introducing me to one of my best muddies ever. So whatever, see, Hollywood bringing people together. But yeah, don't shame yourself, Allie, for the last couple of weeks. Okay, I'm not sure if you are. If you are, do not. It's a grieving process because, when we think of grieving, we always think about people dying, right? But grieving is when something is removed from your life without without you having anything to do with it. Or even when you have something to do with it. So I stand corrected. Grieving is when you lose something in your life that was very important to you. When I lost my job, I did succumb. I succumbed for several years and I spiraled hard. I always say that I think I'm done spiraling, but I'm never sure because it always feels like there's something left to heal. So I'm just going to say that I'm better now. But yeah, you were grieving something that you loved that is no longer a part of your life. So I totally get it. I get it. I'm not in your situation. This did not happen to me, but I do understand that, that it's hard. So there you go. I've had my pity party. Now it's time to start the new beginnings. And that is where this card comes in. The time for healing. So let's get to the rest of it. Attuned to the moon. So this is your affirmation. When one is healed, all are healed. When one is healed, all are healed. So additional meanings for this card. I'm so glad we had this talk right before all this, because Allie, you were about to get your validation. It's time to let go of the past. You are about to turn the corner. This one says you need more time to heal. So if you do need more time to heal, just allow it. Don't, your pity party may be over, but you still might have these moments where memories pop up on Facebook or something, and, you're just going to feel it. Just go through the emotion, okay? Ride the emotion and say, you know what? I am on to bigger and better things. And then think about how this situation would look if everyone were healed. See, those people, they probably needed to be up in your business because they probably got business of their own that they're not sharing. So that's just a speculation. And that's just me being a friend going, you hurt my friend. Shame on you. Sometimes it's good that I'm not on your island. I'd be over there going, what the actual fuck? We just start our own group. We'll start small, right? We could be those 3 witches from Macbeth. Wait, there were 3, right? Oh, God, sorry, Shakespeare, if I got that wrong. Anyways, so here's the teaching. Patience is required at the time of the balsamic moon. It's a time for self-care as you slowly but surely prepare yourself for the new moon tomorrow, which is just around the corner, literally just around the corner. It's tomorrow. No matter which point in the current moon cycle you have pulled this card, it's a reminder to go a little bit easy on yourself. The time to step into your creatrix power. Creatrix? That's kind of cool, like a creative matrix, right? Your creatrix power will come soon enough. Give yourself the time you need. Give yourself the time you need. So there you go. Give yourself the time you need. Now, let's get to this one, because tomorrow is a new moon in Leo, and this is card number 3 in the group that I pull weekly cards for, although I forgot last week. Sorry. I did. I was fine. I just totally spaced it. So new moon in Leo, you are the lion. Look at that. It's like Mufasa. Speaking of lions, I watched a really good movie the other day, although I kind of felt bad, right? Because, I've gotten into this phase where it's like, no, not the lions. But, called Beast, Beast, with Idris Elba, Charlton Copley, and it was a really good movie. And, wow, it was a good movie. It was a good movie. It's short, like 90 minutes, but, yeah, it was intense. It's intense. But anyways, confidence is your key to success. That is the new moon in Leo. Confidence is a key to your success. This card heralds the oh my God, Allie. Holy crap. This is like Allie reading. Okay. But like I said, even though we're talking about Allie right now because we're trying to help her through this crisis, this is for everybody. Okay. This is for everybody. Everybody that this resonates with, this is for you. If you need a healing and you need new stuff, these are for you, because this is great. This card heralds the start of a new cycle for you. When you're going to look and feel more gorgeous, more in the spotlight, more like you have something worth showing off. If you want someone's attention, this card says, it's coming. And it ties right into this one. I'm a catch, a complete and utter babe. All right. So if you want someone's attention, this card says it's coming. However, this may not happen all by itself. You have to be willing to do your bit. That means being proud of who you are and what you have to offer. I'm a catch. I feel like I'm talking to myself too. I really need to be more confident. Think of yourself as the king or queen of the jungle and carry yourself accordingly. This card is also a great omen if you're asking about a creative project you're working on. Alternatively, it can herald good news or a new start for your children. I don't know, but anyways, I'm just reading this. Okay. So attune to the moon. Make time to have fun. Make time to have fun. Additional meanings for this card. It's time for you to show the world what you've got. Shine your light. Have some pride. Spoil yourself. You've earned it. You've turned someone's head. Ooh. So the teaching, Leo is the sign of the big and brave-hearted lion of pride and showmanship and flirting. The energy around the new moon in Leo, and therefore around this card whenever you pick it, is hot and generous. The energy loves itself, and so should you. If you've been too much of a wallflower, this new moon card and the Leo new moon comes as a reminder that you need to be proud of who you are. The fun part about that is that tomorrow actually is the new moon in Leo. I did not pick that card. It flew out of the deck. And I'm starting to realize now that it probably flew out of the deck because it came in handy today. It came in handy today. And again, tomorrow is the new moon in Leo. So that being said, my girls, I know it's hard when these things happen to you. I'm going to share a quick story. This happened to me as well years ago, years and years and years ago. And it actually concerned the bestie I'm picking up from the airport today. So there was a group we all hung out with. And the interesting thing was, these are people that I thought were my friends. You know, an older sibling had brought me into this group and she thought they were her friends. And, you know, they talked about us behind our back. I remember it was around the time that the LA Kings had the All-Star game, and older sibling walked around, and we knew that this new friend we'd made, my friend that I'm going to see today for, you know, during Comic-Con, was from Canada and a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. And so she bought him something, not one of his favorite players. In fact, all of us were like, not one of the greatest players, but it was the thought that counts. And he's all like, I have to tell you guys something. Now, this happened after there was this big fallout. And if anybody took this person's side, we were bounced from the group. Now, sibling had already left the group because she had had enough. You know, all the backstabbing, all this, that, all that. But I was still kind of new to living up here and being on my own. I moved up here, or not up here, sorry, I'm in San Diego right now, but I moved up there because of someone I was dating. We broke up, I ended up meeting someone new, and I ended up creating a life there. And even after that broke up, you know, I met all these people. So I felt like I needed a community, you know, of more than just Sissy Joe. And so, It hurt. It hurt for a long time. I felt lost. I felt like I was flailing in the wind. These are people I thought that had my back. Then I find out that the whole time they were actually talking about me behind my back. They were judging me. They were saying that, you know, even though we did so much for them, that sibling and I were bitchy and this and that. And I remember when Bestie, Canadian Bestie, we'll call him Canadian Bestie, was telling us all this stuff. He's like, yeah, he's all, I don't get it. Why would they say that? Because you guys are nothing like this. But when you've had a trauma brain and when you've had, you know, been bullied, you start to believe all this shit that people say about you. You start to believe that you're not good enough, that you're not, you know, smart enough, that you're not this enough or that enough. And I'm sorry that it took me longer or a long time to realize all this stuff. Baby sibling and I were talking a couple weeks ago, and she's like, yeah, boundaries. And I told her, I was just quiet for a moment. She's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm just so proud of you that you discovered this before you hit 40, because you were where I wish I was when I was your age. But I also realized that my journey may have been my journey for a reason, because I'm here now and showing people that it doesn't matter how old you are, you can always heal. There's always time for healing. There's always time to put up boundaries. And it's exactly like Allie said, this is giving her the opportunity for a new start. You know, people should make you feel welcome no matter what. If they don't like the way you deal with your mental health because you won't talk to people you barely know, you don't need those kind of people in your life. You don't need people who are just going to probably take this information and talk about you, potentially talk about you behind your back. I don't know these people, but I know you. And I know you are a good person. I know that you struggle with a lot of things. We all do. And I know that you do your best to, you know, bring yourself back to center. the best that you can. I know you have hobbies. I know that, there are certain physical struggles that you may or may not go through from time to time. But as older sibling would always tells me, we're all just doing the best we can every day. True friends are going to be beside you no matter what. They're not going to walk ahead of you. They may walk behind you to make sure you don't fall back. Or they may just walk next to you to make sure that you don't fall back. Those are your people. Those are our people, anybody's people. Those are the ones that you can turn to in the middle of the night when you're having a crisis. They may be mad when you wake them up in the middle of the night, but they're there. They're there. And they're the people that when you go out, they make you feel like you're a catch. They make you feel like you are aces because that's how you make them feel. So as you begin your new cycle, as you begin your new journey, I just want to tell you that I'm proud of you because I know how much this hurt. I don't know personally what you're going through, but I know what it's like to be removed from something that has been familiar and, whether it was toxic or not, was comfortable. And sometimes when we're kicked out of our comfort zone, it can sting like a bitch. And it hurts. We have our pity party. And you know what? We should name it something new, okay? Because pity party just sounds so bad. We all go through these things. We all go through these, moments where it's like we just feel sorry for ourselves. And that's okay, And thank you, Sammy. She says, exactly. Those folks that are on your side no matter what. Absolutely no matter what. And provide you with song lyrics when they're stuck in your head or earworms. Thank you very much. But, but no, seriously. I didn't intend for this to be a soapbox moment, but I think anybody out there that needs to hear that, I hope you did listen this far, because your people are the people that will be there for you. And, this is also a lesson for us to be good people, and I'm not saying that we're bad people, but I think sometimes we get caught up in other things too. When older sibling, they said they kicked older sibling out of the group. Older sibling was like, no, I left because I got tired of the bullshit. Now, this is a girl who rarely swears. And for her, she was like my mom, right? When they swore, they meant business. But not like me, who is a total potty mouth. But yeah, but I was torn between them all. And, you're welcome. I'm glad I can make you laugh. Yay. But yeah, so anyways, just go out there and, go out there and find your, like you said, you're on your new journey now. You're on your new path, your new cycle, your new normal. And that's exactly what it is. It's your new normal. And, who knows? Maybe you'll find a even more fun reenactment group, right? So, yeah, I wish you the best of luck in that. I do. I want you to find the group that makes you feel fabulous, like the fabulous person you are. I want all of you who are listening out there and watching this to find the people that make you feel like you're a shiny star, that you also make them feel like a shiny star, because that's what relationships and friendships are. People who build each other up, who make each other feel loved, feel accepted, feel comfortable and safe. And that's what it is. They took away your safety and they pulled the net out from underneath you. And because you wouldn't conform to their ways, they decided they needed to pull rank on you. And as far as I'm concerned, they've lost an amazing human. So, oh, good morning, Paula. Oh, I'm not going to read that part because that's for Allie. So if you want to read it, you can read it in the comments. But that's friendship. That is friendship right there. So, oh, Allie says she makes the clothing, so she'll have more time to create now. So see, they lost someone else now. Haha. Put them on your do not fly list, miss. So anyways, all right. So good morning, Paula. Thank you for popping on. Allie, Sammy, I'm glad we had this conversation. I'm really excited, Sammy. I mean, Sammy. Sorry. I love you, Sammy. I love you, Muddy. Hybrid Muddy. I love all you girls on here. I love all of you girls on here, but I'm going to tell you this reading, I mean, all the way from starting from this, this has all been for you, Allie. This has all been for you. And whoever else resonates with these messages. Like I said, it ended up, Allie came on, we ended up doing this, which is from the group. And so these two are going to get the next thing, because I'm going to, right after this, as I'm uploading, I'm going to be going back to the group to post these cards. But yeah, I love what Paula said so much too. So anyways, that is camaraderie. That is support. That is good people supporting good people. So so yeah, I love you girls so much. I had older sibling said she was going to pop on. I have a feeling she's watching the wrong show. I'm gonna have to clarify, but she was flaring up today, so she may have fallen back asleep. But anyways, so I'm going to tie this up now. My baseball game has started, but that's not why. But that's one of the reasons why I lied. I'm in a mood today. And also, I'm going to send Paula and Allie and even Sammy. But Paula's going through some stuff right now. Not my stuff to share on here, but she's going through some stuff. As you know, Allie is going through some stuff. So if you guys out there, anybody watching this, can just, send up whatever for them. Send up your good vibes. Send up, whatever you turn your faith to. If you can throw some of that their way, I'd be appreciative. And, and Sammy and I can always use the bonus love. So thank you, Allie. See, I don't just crack myself up. I'm cracking her up too. I don't know what's wrong with me this morning. I think I'm just in a good mood, because you know what? Tomorrow is Comic-Con. Technically it starts today, but preview night isn't like preview night anymore. So anyway, all right. I promise I'm done. All right. So I got things to do on another group. I got to go post these cards to the other group now. So yeah, remember, you're a catch. You are a catch. Any single person who is watching this, you are a catch. Even if you're in a relationship, you are a catch. Okay? Don't go all limp in your relationship. Okay? Just effort, all right? Do something saucy. If you are in a relationship, do something on behalf of all of us single people. Be spicy and saucy today. All right? That's all I'm asking. Be a little spicy and saucy today. Do it for us single people, okay? Do it for us single people. So anyways, all right. I will see everybody back here Monday. Remember, I am off tomorrow and Friday because it is Comic-Con. My nerd. So I'm not even gonna say my inner nerd. I'm just a nerd and a geek. All right, I'm a geeky nerd. So yeah, I'm gonna go be with my people. My thousands of people this weekend, just sharing the same vibe. All right. So yeah, so have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you back here Monday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, Facebook Live. All lives are public under Shelly Marie Lucas. Anybody can watch. You can find me across the social media board. Send out good vibes to Paula, Sammy, Allie, and older sibling, even though she's not on, if you don't mind. And yeah, and Allie, good luck on your new path, girl. And remember, I am always just a message away for you or Paula, and of course Sammy knows. So so again, have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Ladies, thank you for popping on, making this a fun show to tie up this week. All right, have a happy hump day. And again, all you people in relationships out there, go out there and be spicy and saucy today for the rest of us. Have a great day.